Some people do fluffy marketing. Some people cut the crap and get just straight to it. So I'm assuming you probably figured out this week's guest is the latter of those two. Jay Kozar has a history of helping companies get that visibility that they want, and currently he's doing that at Frontburner Marketing. If you want to learn more about getting that visibility, you're going to want to stay tuned. Jay, thanks for coming on. So you emphasize the importance of creating scroll-stopping content is what you like, because we all get caught doom scrolling. As I like to say, doom scrolling on the toilet.
Right.
It's closed caption because bathroom fans are loud.
So you actually take your phone in the bathroom?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's a huge no-no. I can't do it.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to borrow your phone.
No, you don't. You definitely don't. What are some key elements that you guys look for with someone when you're looking to stop that scroll and be like, ooh, I want to watch this?
Yeah, I mean, I grab my attention right away. We have a saying at Frontburner, and a lot of it is like, clients know if you're bullshit. We talked about that before. When people are scrolling, they want to know, what's the hook? What am I going to get out of this? Give me that information right away up front. Then you'll have my attention.
I like that. It's funny because, I mean, there's a number of people that I've been talking to recently, and everyone's like, when someone starts out with like, hey guys, I'm out.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
Gone. Gone.
Did you know the other one? So I'm a foodie. I'm a cook.
Okay.
I smoke a lot of barbecue, this and that. If you have a recipe page or you have a recipe blog, don't give me all of the reasons of how you came to this recipe, what it means to your family and whatnot. Maybe put that on the end and lead with the recipe. Get me to the recipe. And if you don't have a button that says, take me to recipe, I'm leaving. It could be the best. I could be missing out, but I can't deal with it.
It's funny when we talk video to people, we make that reference all the time. We're like, how many times have you just said, screw it? I'm going to wing it. I'm going to risk burning whatever I'm making because I'm not scrolling through the story about how your Aunt Martha figured this recipe out when she... No, I 100% get it.
Can't do it.
No, definitely not. So, I mean, I know just the creative side of things. You've got a graphic background.
Yeah.
That creative side of things is your passion. Video is a big piece of that, and it's becoming more so. A lot of places are still hesitant on that.
Yeah.
What's an argument that you have? What's the thing that you say, duh?
Right. I could offer video to people for free, and they still won't do it. They don't want to get in front of a camera. They don't want to put the effort in. They don't understand that video now moving forward, and it has been, content, as you say, content is king, right? Video, people want to, it used to be you could only get content certain ways, right? So we had, we had newspapers. Remember those? We had newspapers. You read the sports page, you look at your stocks the next day. Then the internet came. Then it was blogging, and people were hesitant to blog. But on the video side, some people are they can't picture themselves getting in front of a camera and doing this, exactly what we're doing right now. And I've seen brands personal brands crumble because they're not accessible. Nobody's able to understand their genius and see their content or their personality. I want to see someone's personality, right? We talk about value propositions, like what makes you different in the marketplace. If you're selling the same thing, take cost out of the equation. Something resonates with somebody, and usually it's the person behind it. And if you can't get that to show, you can't show your audience that, then why wouldn't they pick your competitor?
I mean, it makes 100% sense. I mean, everyone that listens has heard the story that I have. I mean, when I used to do the truck sales, had someone walk in my office, sit down like he was my best friend. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
But he knew me, watched all the videos, knew exactly who I was.
Right.
Kind of scary.
A little bit.
but definitely did it. One of the things that is always a concern for businesses when it comes to their marketing, it's always that return on investment, because if I have, let's say it's a manufacturing company, I can take a machine, stick it out on the factory floor, and be like, look, I have another widget maker. I can go out, I can touch it, I can pet it. It's going to get done, whatever.
Right.
If I don't do the marketing, it's just going to sit there and not do anything, but I can still go out there and look at it.
Right.
what's a way to kind of justify that return on investment? What's your, because you deal with growth mainly, which I love.
Yeah.
What is your thought on like, how are you going to see this?
Yeah, I mean, ROI is huge. There are plenty of agencies, plenty of people who make great pictures, pretty pictures, and they're like, hey, this is creative and this is marketing. If this is who you're working with, what's the ROI on that? Is it just brand awareness? What's the call to action? Where are you driving people? How are they interacting with your brand after they see whatever the tactic, whatever the effort is? Reality is we have to be able to tie these efforts to an ROI. You can have a marketing director at a company who knows they need to do these things, but behind that marketing director is a CFO who says, what am I spending money on? Yeah. Is this just a black hole? What's the objective? What's the goal? Right? So performance marketing is totally different. We have to come prepared with analytics, reports to measure success. And not everything's going to be successful. Right. But in today's world, especially with AI, you have to be trying. You have to be pushing the envelope. You have to be pushing something and be afraid to fail to a certain extent so that you can find what does work for you and that client, your company, and then double down there, but be able to pivot.
It's funny you say that because when you mentioned the AI stuff, that leads well into the next thing I was kind of look at. Marketing's a complex world.
Yeah, it's real out there.
It really is, and it's funny because I had someone else mention that. I mean, there's so many of these young people that they've got Instagram followers, and they think that's marketing, and we're like, okay, you got a follower. Yeah. Who cares?
Right.
Did they actually do something besides like your post? Did they somehow deposit money in your checking account?
Right.
And so often that's not the case.
So social media is a part of marketing.
100%.
Right.
And it's a wonderful part of marketing. Right. But it's a tool.
Yep.
You can use pliers as a hammer.
Probably not a great idea, but
right. They kind of works.
Social media is a touch point, right? Along with your blog, along with your there are many tools in the toolbox.
What's a trend that you see that's kind of emerging? That's like one of the stronger tools right now that, if used correctly, can be a big hammer.
Wow, that is. Okay, I'm going to say a little broad, but I'm going to try to boil this down. There are so many ways to go because there are so many tools out there right now.
Sure.
As far as trends that we see right now, everybody's heard of this company in China called TikTok. So there's that one. If you've heard of them before, then you know about short form video that you'll probably take this podcast and boil that down into as well, right?
Correct.
So obviously short form video is huge. I would say, so there's one. I would say another is the ability, SERPs on Google, right? The ability to answer questions quickly and have everything served up quickly on Google, answer people's questions for authority, for ranking. Another one is just really utilizing tools for teams or from the client side as well to free up time for people to be creative. So to utilize AI as a tool to kind of get rid of the mundane so that you can really look at an analysis of your efforts, and then you can then be creative in strategy and implement new tactics.
So rather than someone just stamping out repeated things,
right?
Let AI do some of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can finish the painting,
but much like video we're talking about, there's also same people who don't want to, put themselves, be vulnerable, be in a video. AI scares the hell out of them. It's going to take their job. It's taking over the world. And it might. I don't know. This is still kind of new.
Not this week. Maybe next week.
But right now, the ability to utilize these tools to free up and let people be creative and be strategic. That's the hot topic. That's the trend. Is obviously finding what AI tools are right for you and for your business.
So one, and this one I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit with. For us, we always encourage people to bring value to the table. As long as you are bringing value to the people that are seeing your content, you're doing the right thing. Right. There's pieces to that. There's calls to action. There's other pieces to that. Is that something that you agree with? Or is that something you think, well, I realize it is just the start of something. But is that something where you think, no, it needs to have a sharper message than just that?
So I think when you're looking at any content, there has to be value, right? Somebody found your content because they were trying to solve a problem or educate themselves. There was a reason that they found what you were doing. So I would say, yeah, there has to be value. The content has to be strong. But from there, what are you trying to get them to do? Right. And I don't feel put on the spot, but I would say to kind of add to that, kind of piggyback is, so there's value if people are viewing and engaging with your content. But what's the next step? How have you set them up? Is your call to action to be a subscriber? Is it to purchase a product? Is it to get a hold of us for a free consultation? Like, what is that? So yes, have value, have people there and engaging, but then have a next step. Where are they in the life cycle, right? So this is the first time engaging with your brand, but then they come back 3 more times. What do you have in place to recognize that I've gone to your page and looked at motorcycle parts and a certain one 3 different times? Well, there should be a bell alarm going off somewhere where you're like, I need to contact Jay because he needs a gas tank for an Indian motorcycle, right? So what are you trying to do next? Does that answer?
100%.
Okay.
100. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I love that add on to that because it is something that I feel that so many people miss is so many people put content out and they're like, content. And you're like, great. Who cares?
Kind of like your social media example earlier.
Yeah.
Great. Somebody liked it. Okay. But if you're a business and you're trying to grow revenue, what did you have them do next? And I understand brand awareness. I totally get that. But if you're selling a product or service in your social media, what's the next step? What do you want them to do? Right? Are you selling online? Are you selling through Instagram? Have you set up a shop? I don't know.
It's funny. I heard someone make a speech the one time. They asked what someone's favorite type of social media engagement was.
Yeah. What was it? I'm curious.
And I mean, most of the answers in the room were, I love it when I get a comment or I love it when I get a like on this one. The speaker then looks and goes, my favorite form of engagement is checks.
Checks.
Yes.
Something that deposits into a bank account.
Correct. And I thought,
cold, hard cash.
Correct. And I thought, oh yeah, we need to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have lost that.
Right.
It's always interesting.
Everything gets going in the brain. They got likes, right?
Right.
Gets happy.
It's the vanity metrics. I feel super good about this. People like me.
Right.
I don't get to say that often, but people like me.
And doggone it. Right. People like me.
Right.
Yeah,
right. I'm liked. Something else that we're finding is more and more, and just when you think it can't go further, it does. Mobile marketing.
Oh, yes.
We talked the short form videos. Those are huge for that mobile marketing. Is there another piece that you think is a second behind, or do you think something's in front of the short form videos for mobile marketing?
I don't know if it's in front. Maybe it's 1A, 1B, but I think that people forget sometimes about the mobile experience in general. I think that when people design sites or they're working in a legacy platform and have a website, that they're not mobile friendly. And when we start to really, and I'm not Neil Patel, this isn't a TED Talk. I don't have all of the analytics here, but I can tell you from experience that mobile first, unless you're selling something super complicated that takes spreadsheets to figure out, people are going to find you on a mobile device.
Yeah.
And if I can't find your phone number, or if I can't engage or click on things on your mobile experience, if the images don't load, if I have to doom scroll like we talked about earlier to get to a call to action, you've lost somebody. So I think that is like just having the mobile experience top of mind to serve, your content to somebody who wants to be there. Don't make it hard. So don't forget about the mobile experience, because you're just losing people. You're losing visitors. They're bouncing. They're getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, and I can't blame them.
Right.
I can't if I get someplace and I can't see it in a couple of seconds, I'm out. Yeah. If this is the type of service I'm going to get, no, thanks.
Right.
It's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. Yeah,
right.
No, I get
Not real fun, exactly.
What is the biggest marketing challenge that you see for businesses coming up?
Yeah, I would say pull the trigger. Like, I need to do marketing, right?
Sure.
People come out of a lot of different groups and networking groups, and they're new business owners, and they get really scared and nervous about spending marketing dollars because they don't see an ROI right away.
Sure.
Hey, I just launched a new website. Okay. Well, it's not, I'm not ranking number one.
Where is everyone?
All right, we have 10 pages and it launched a month ago. It's not going to be found. So what are we going to do? We need to spend money. We're going to balance your organic search with your pay-per-click. There's different things we can do to get you found. But I would say, like, with new business owners, understanding that marketing costs money and it costs time and resources, but when done correctly, they're going to grow. They're going to get where they want to be. Without it, I mean, it's death by a million paper cuts. Like, they're going to sit there waiting for someone to find them. They don't have a Google My Business. I mean, there's just, like, be active and do marketing. And it's not like you don't have to go partner with an agency and spend a ton of money right away. There's things that you can do yourself. There's, what I can tell you at Frontburner, we're a marketing academy as well. So if you don't have the budget to be able to hire us on a retainer basis, well, we can help you get educated, get certified so that you can go create your social media channels. You can start to understand, at least strategically, what is SEO? How does it balance with pay-per-click? So there's different ways. So I would say take that first step, educate yourself, and then meet people who you like to work with. And from there, when you invest into your marketing budget, have those things in mind. Be educated, come to the table, but know that it takes time.
I love that education piece. That to me is a huge thing. And to me, it's what I like about it. And it's one of the reasons why we do this podcast too. It's to educate people, because an educated person is so much better to work with.
Absolutely.
If you guys give someone that base education on, hey, here's where you need to start with your marketing. Here's the base foundation. Here's the right questions to ask.
Right.
They have that experience. So when they show up and ask you, hey, that we've got our Google My Business page up and we've got a couple of reviews in, what can we do to make this better?
Right.
And you say you can do this, this, and this, they have an idea and they no longer are waiting for you to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
The old magic trick? Yeah, that old magic trick, yeah. I have a money tree in my backyard too.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I have watered mine.
We're sitting here talking. I don't have a money tree.
My favorite saying about that is, I am never disappointed with the numbers in my checking account. The decimal point.
It's in the wrong place.
That is
it's in the wrong place.
That is very much the wrong piece to that.
Yeah.
To me, I thank you for spending the time with me today. For everyone out there, make sure that you check out the Frontburner Marketing Podcast. It's called The Spark, correct?
It is, correct.
It has been, they've just starting out on this journey, and so far it has been really, really good. They're building on some great things to come. I'm excited for it. We're helping them produce that from the corporate college studios up here at Tri-C. That's why there's the different backgrounds. So do me the favor, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all the other things that every other person on the planet's going to ask you to do. If you can, leave us a podcast review on your favorite podcast platform. And as always, make sure you take care of yourself. And if you can, take care of someone else too. I will see you soon.